Hi, and welcome back to the final part of the low poly modeling for the elephant. So I'm switched into face mode, and I'm going to select these two faces closest to the ear. I'm going to press I to do an inset and bring that in a little bit. Then I'm going to press E to extrude outward a little bit, something like that. And then I'll select maybe these back two faces, and I'll extrude, scale in, maybe another extrude, and scale in one more time. Okay, so I've got the basic volume of the ear, and this is the part where I would then go and do more reference, because the key thing here is observation. We've all seen elephants' ears, we're familiar with them. Now, these of course are elephants with their ears flared out in front because they're usually walking or something like that. And the elephant that I'm doing right here, that I'm modeling, does not have his ears out like this. So you have to make a little bit of a compromise here. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and just continue modeling here. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to take the top ridge of the ears here and extrude one more time out. There we go. Okay, so the ears need to be certainly taller. Now get into maybe vertex mode and just start box selecting and hopefully shaping. Now this is where things get a little messy, and they're going to look ugly before they look clean and nice looking. So you just have to make sure your selections are good. And again, what I do is I make sure that my selections look all right in one view, and then I double check it in another view. Sometimes I box select. Sometimes I'm, again, working in the perspective view, and sometimes I'm working in the side view. Go here. Now this ear is very low poly. You can see that. Again, round it. Always be asking yourself, what looks off, what looks off. If it looks too boxy, if it doesn't look rounded enough, and that'll just help you assess and kind of figure things out. Okay, so I'm just kind of evening things out. Okay. And if you're watching closely, you can see that what I'm doing is I'm just getting the ears a little bit more in the side view, a little bit more in line. Let's see, I want to take these vertices here and grab them and oops. There we go, these vertices here, and grab them and pull them back. So in the side view, they're more in line with the other ones there. Okay. Alright, now it'll make modeling a little bit easier. Okay, so it still looks like he's got a mohawk, which I'm not in love with, but hopefully that'll get fixed right quick. Okay, again, a little more shaping. Okay, so you can see in my perspective view that the ear is now going into the body at the tail end there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll select the ear and then I'll rotate it outward just a tiny little bit. I could also take the body and move that in a little bit. So I could box select and bring this guy in a little bit. That would help. This is where things get a little complicated. Let's see. Okay, so I found the vertex. That was the body. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select the ear, and then I'll rotate it out. Okay, so I'm back. I've got the ear selected, and I'm going to press R and Z and rotate the ear out a little bit. There we go. Grab it and move it out a little bit so it flares out a tiny bit. Again, the part of modeling, you never expect certain things to be more challenging than they are, but they are. Okay, so I'm just switching between face mode and edge mode, or sorry, face mode and vertex mode. To just small movements, I mean really small movements. There we go. Just putting some space in between the ear and the back of the elephant's neck, moving the elephant's neck in, and just doing things like that. And then I will get into shaping of the ear a little bit more. Bring in the vertices, maybe bring out some verts just to make it a little thicker in some areas, a little thinner in some areas. The ears aren't very thick, so you want to be very mindful of that. Okay, again, always be looking around. You can see the back of my ear here is getting pretty darn thin, so maybe I just want to be careful about that. Bring in these a little bit so they're a little more. There we go. Okay, so just again, careful observation. Never hurts to go back to your reference. Just notice a lot of front views, side views are great. Even though we already downloaded one, never hurts. So you notice on this one here, it really comes up high. We've got this diagonal line that it follows. So I need to see if mine is doing that, and it's not really. I think that's what's missing is, I'll show you here with the grease pencil tool what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to draw in grease pencil. So what I'm missing, I think, is that looking at the elephant ear is that it drops down low and then it comes back up at an angle. So it really is supposed to drop down low and then come back up like this, almost like a soft triangle. And so I need to do some more shaping. As you can see, my vertices kind of are droopy and melted and don't quite do it there. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'll come back after I'm done shaping. Okay, so here is my, for the most part, pretty much finished elephant. Ears look a little bit better, a little more shapely. Okay, I've decided that there's one last little tutorial that I'll do, and that is basic materials. So you can go ahead and do some colors. And I'm just really quick going to do maybe 2 or 3 materials, one for the tusks, one for the elephant body itself, and then maybe I'll put in a ground plane here. So I'll include that as a final part. So I'll see you in the next video.